Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. A friend of mine once made a permutation of the famous quote, to be not to be, and he called it to cook or not to cook. Based on his experience, as well as my personal experience, this is sometimes could be a difficult decision to make. In today's food landscape, actually it is quite a challenge to decide to cook, because everywhere you look around, you see food available and that is just full of temptation. Recently, my wife and I was driving home fairly late in the evening. There are just every place we look around, there are welcoming signs from fast food restaurants to full service restaurants. However, despite all these possibilities, we decided that we will go home and cook. And so in this video, I'm going to demonstrate to you why we make that decision. So okay, let's get into the kitchen and get started. This is the clear advantage of prepping in advance. I definitely would not have cooked this meal if I do not have everything ready to be cooked. Not only I have carrots already prepped, I also have some green bean which ready to be used. And knowing that I could put a meal together in about 20 minutes make a huge difference. It was late in the evening. Most of the time in the past, I probably would stop at some fast food places and get something quick. However, now I know this is the right thing to do. Not only that the food is more nutritious for me, but I will save at least 150 calories by eating at home. This is the figure produced by the USDA, which calculated that every meal eaten away from home, a person will increase their calorie consumption by somewhere between 100 to 180 calories. I prepped these food ingredients about 8 days ago. As you can see that they are in very good condition. And this is another advantage of prepping in advance because you can keep the shelf life longer. In addition to the advantage of everything ready to go, another great benefit of advanced prepping is that when I know I have everything cut and ready to go, I don't want to waste my effort and not to use the food. So in about a minute or so, the green bean and carrot is about almost 50% done. And because of advanced prepping, I can add other vegetables as well. In this case, I found some portobello mushroom. This mushroom has been in the refrigerator for over a week, but they're still in excellent shape. From my experience, I found that by cutting the vegetable and store them in plastic container, extend their shelf life. Not to mention by things already cut up, it makes cooking much easier. Personally, I find that cooking sometimes faces some inertia. You just don't know when and how to get started. For example, if I'm going to cook this meal that I have to prep everything, I probably would not have done it. Advanced prepping definitely lowers the barrier toward cooking a meal from scratch. And next, I'm going to season it by adding some oyster sauce. I'm going to season this dish very lightly. For this meal, I just want to have the natural flavors of the vegetables. And next, I'm going to add some of my basic seasonings, which is designed to enhance the natural flavor of the ingredients. And the final step is for me to steam the vegetable to create the desired texture that I want. This steaming step might not be necessary if you do not want to have a sauce with the vegetables. So the dish is almost done. Finally, I'm going to do a taste test to make sure the texture of the vegetable is what I would like them to be. Okay, I decided that I would just like to steam it a touch longer. So a few quick more stir, the dish is ready. So the total cook time of this vegetable portion of the dish is about 5 minutes. I start out by cooking the carrot and the green bean because they take longer to cook. And then I add the mushroom toward the end. Because I would like to cook the mushroom less to maintain the texture of the mushroom. I call this approach sequential cooking. You add different ingredients to the wok depending on how long you want to cook them. So I'm going to set the vegetable aside and keep them under cover. I cleaned the wok and I'm now ready to cook the chicken. And because of advanced prepping, I'm able to have the chicken ready to be cooked in about 10 minutes straight from the freezer. I'm going to use shallow frying for cooking this chicken because I want the chicken to have a nice crisp texture on the surface. For this dish, I also would like the chicken to have its own flavor. So I coat the chicken lightly with cornstarch as well with lemon pepper. Another reason I decided I would come home to cook because I like to have some chicken that's cooked the way I want to. Again, advanced prepping makes a big difference. I have the chicken already cut up and I store it in the refrigerator in such a way that I know when I come home I can put it in a bowl of warm water and the chicken will be thawed out in about 10 minutes. I also know that I freeze the chicken in 8-ounce portion and this will be just about the right amount that I need for dinner for my wife and I. This shallow frying method takes a little bit more time than stir frying because you let the chicken to fry on one side and then you have to turn it over to fry on the other side. However, it only takes a little bit more than a couple minutes, so it is well worth the time. Again, this is the power of stir frying. When you combine stir frying with advanced prepping, you can create some really good meal all from scratch in relatively short amount of time. So now after frying one side of the chicken, I turn it around to fry the other side. This is the reason that when I purchase chicken, when I bought it back from the supermarket, I never freeze them the way it is. I always cut them up into pieces that will be suitable for stir fry. Over the years, I also have learned how I cook for myself. I learned the flavor that I enjoy. And this is one of the practice in my fast cooking system of flavor chasing. And I have developed simple templates that allow me to make variations, to make adjustments to the flavor that I enjoy at a particular time. So when I was driving home that evening, I already have in mind how I'm going to cook the chicken to the type of flavor that I think I want that evening. As you can see by using this shallow frying method, the chicken take on a very nice flavor and texture, almost look like they have been grilled. Also, another advantage of this method is that you use very little cooking oil. As you can see, there are almost no oil at the bottom of the wok. A few more stir, the chicken is done. Next, I'm going to transfer them and put them on top of the vegetable that I've cooked earlier. Not only that, cooking these two ingredients separately allow me to better control the texture of each, but it also gives the opportunity if that I do not want to have any meat for that meal, I can just have the vegetables for a vegetarian meal. Even though it seems like that actually I have cooked two different dishes, but as my friend who's a chef told me, he said the best way of cooking is that when the whole is greater than the sum of the part. And so finally, to give a touch of elegance, I garnished the top of the dish with some hoisin sauce. I was glad that we came home to eat. We would not have got anything better on the roll. And not only that, we had a great meal. I actually have some left over that could be used for lunch the next day. So okay, now let's take a look at the caloric content as well as the nutritional value of this dish. As very much expected, over half of the caloric content come from that 8 ounces of chicken. We ate this meal with 4 ounces of rice, which is not very much, but I already have the rice in the refrigerator. From the nutritional standpoint, the meal is great. We have 3 different kinds of vegetables. The total calorie contribution is only 126 calories. The remaining calorie contribution come from the cooking oil, cornstarch, and the sauces, that total to 140 calories. So the total calorie content of this dish is 886 calories. And since we did not finish the dish and we left about 1/3 for our lunch the next day. So in this case, this meal for my wife and me is about 600 calories and we each consume about 300 calories. And this is a great meal, and I'm for sure if I had been eating out, I would have consumed at least 200 or 300 calories more. In this case, not only nutritionally it's bad for me, and I don't think I'm going to enjoy it as much as well. When I look at the calorie number, it was very clear to me we could have easily dropped the chicken from 8 ounces to 4 ounces. And that would reduce the calorie content of the dish from 886 calories to 635. Based on my past experience, we probably would then have finished the dish, and in this case, we would have consumed more vegetables. So I hope through this video, I have made an argument that home cooking is superior once you have a system. For this meal, not only we have a better nutritional value, but most importantly, we consume significantly less calories. I definitely say in my case, I probably have saved about 300 calories by eating at home. At the same time, I realized that how challenging home cooking could be. If you have to come home and start everything from scratch, I would not have done it, and I know you would not have done it either. And this is the reason that I created the fast cooking system. And it's really nothing new or special about this system. It just takes advantage of what comes naturally to our everyday life. So if you through flavor chasing and advanced prepping, stir frying, and template-based cooking, able to cook the food that you enjoy with efficiency, then you would do it. I want to make another point that I make it in the beginning of the video, is that how important advanced prepping is. Because that clearly is the driving force, at least for me, that I want to come home to cook because I have everything ready. And besides, I don't want to waste my time and effort in prepping them in the earlier of the week, but not to use them. I know a lot of people will say to me, I don't have the time to do the prepping. I would not like to do it. But once you get started in it, I think you will see the benefit. And I think that will outweigh whatever the extra time, which is not very much, that you might take in the beginning of the week. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please click like, subscribe, and share. I'll see you next time.